We're batting 1,000. Okay, let's see if I can do that again. All right, 1, 2, 3. Pop you out. No, I didn't do that. Come on, do what I want you. Pop out. Thank you very much. Go here, go there, go there. And ba 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 ba. Woot woot. Push the button and we'd be good. Yes, I'm all right. It's just the rest of the world that's gone crazy. I hope everybody is having a wonderful night and has had a great start to their week. Time has just slipped on by. I was in my mindset that today was Monday. Somehow I completely lost yesterday. Don't know what I did or how I did it, but I was thinking that tonight was tomorrow night. Or wait a minute. Yeah, that tonight was tomorrow night, but that today was yesterday. How's that for pretzel logic? Okay, I am in the process of trying to make sense of things. Um, bear with me a moment longer while we wait for some folks to show up. We can do this. I know we can. And let's see, how does this sound? No, I don't want to go to sleep. I don't know if you do, but I don't. Um, isn't this fun though? We get to find just the right ambiance. And we have a little bit of a storm. Hello, everybody. I am glad to see you all. Welcome, welcome. I love you. Buddha, big hugs and kisses. Hello, Keto. I almost said Keto Nettie. That didn't ignore some glitches and whatnot because I have a little bit of a storm going on out there. I'm glad that you're here. Please do think of thumbs upping. Thumbs upping. Gotta love that. So, tonight, a little bit of education and a lot of guided imagery meditation and stuff. Okay, Annette, I will do my darndest to remember Annette Nettie. We got it. I tied it in. I like Annette. So, anyway, I'm going to stay safe, Buddha. I don't have anything out here, maybe a tree, but for the most part, we should be good. Let me see. I just noticed that I have a uh, ah, I love it. Alrighty. So, we are going to talk about angels. There's been a lot of chatter I've been listening to on several different people's channels, and angels are coming up, and I always take it as a sign if somebody's talking about an angel, typically those angels are around. Um, it would be the chicken or the egg. Are they around? And then it comes into your head to talk about Michael or Uriel, et cetera. Or are you talking about them and then they show up? Either way you look at it, when angels are spoken about, they're around. So uh, let me see about getting our sister here and try to do that. You know what? If they show up, they show up. If they don't, they don't. I'm not going to stress over it. I have a unique perspective on angelic beings. There are different energies at play. Everybody's familiar with the archangels. Most people don't understand, though, the hierarchy of the angels. And so you have 9 classifications of angels, if you want to call it that. In the hierarchy, you've got the seraphim and the cherubim, and you have dominions, and you have the powers and the principalities, and of course we know the angels and the archangels, and there's a couple others, because right now my brain is going on those. Usually if I'm doing work with the angels, I just state, I call the hierarchy of angels to be present with me here and now. I always specify the here and now because time and space are nothing to the spirit realm, to spirit, to angels, to our ancestors. They're really dimensional beings, so that's why somebody can see Michael in Budapest while somebody else is invoking Michael in Argentina. It's not that there are umpteen copies, but I guess you could even call it that if you wanted to. I fell in love with Michael when I was a small child. That's really the only constant I have from my childhood, is knowing that Michael was there. And I was having conversation earlier about the angels. And to each person, they will represent themselves to you in a way that's comfortable to you. And far be it from them to ever disappoint. They'll, short of showing up as unicorns with wings and glitter, they'll present pretty much in a manner that you already anticipate or expect or whatever. But it's unique unto you. Their true faces aren't something that people get to see. They're light beings. They're just energy. And so we're the ones that give them form. 7 years ago, 8 years ago, I had the opportunity to take a class. They called it From Zero to Psychic, or Zero to Psychic. I wanted to take one of my dear friends to help him with understanding his gifts. So I bought the class, and it wasn't anything new for me. I just sat there, enjoyed it, saw how somebody else was teaching things. I didn't agree with everything, and that's okay. But Cameron, my little brother, learned a lot and recognized that things that he either discounted as figment of his imagination because somebody was saying it was in his head, or just, you know, just doubting himself, period, that he got an example and a name to put with the thing that was happening. Um, and it was just beautiful to watch him uh, have those aha moments. Hey, Sling, I'm so glad you made it. Um, but the gentleman who left the church, he was a pastor, a priest. I don't remember what denomination, but he left the church, and he was teaching this, helping people to identify their gifts, to not meet them with fear, but to bring understanding. And anyway, his encounters apparently with Michael were absolutely contrary to mine. Michael was loving, and anytime I needed a hug, I could just close my eyes and feel the wings wrap around me as he held me. And he was my great protector. Whereas for Chuck, Michael just came in and out. He never bothered, there was no niceties. Came in, did the job, and left. That was it. Metatron is another angel. I remember the first time seeing him gave me a pain in my neck because I was like having to do this to look up at this very large being. Very formidable. Now, the interesting thing here, and not to make anybody uncomfortable, just bringing about an awareness, an education, but angels have been around longer than the Bible, longer than the Torah. Angels were around before Egypt. There's always been angelic beings in some form or another. The ancient Babylonians, the people of Ur, some even will say Atlantis and whatnot. So these guardians of the universe, not to call upon the movie, have always been here. They've always been a part of humanity. So what we're going to do tonight, if everybody is up for it, is have basically not an introduction, but we'll call it an introduction to the angels. I'm going to call in the angels as part of the meditation, and to do kind of a soul healing for all of us, so that we can have any negative thought forms, energies, belief systems, patterns, cords, past, present, or future, blah, 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 lots of stuff that we'll get to during the meditation. But we're going to remove all the stuff and basically call them in to clean house on us, to help remove any attachments, to help remove any fears, or bring the fears up into a place that we can look at them and go, oh, that's what you are, okay. And then you get to make the decision. Am I going to keep it around? Do I want to deal with this, or send it off to be disposed of? A couple things I'd like to share with you as a lesson, we'll say. Anytime you're dealing with energy, doesn't matter what level you think you're on, but you have a whole team of spirit with you, always. Your ancestors, your great 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 grandfather might be hanging around you, and just because you never met them in this lifetime doesn't mean they don't know you, doesn't mean that they don't have an interest in your well-being. There are teams of medical assistants or operators, whatever you'd like to call them, that you could call on to help with when you're sick, to help heal your body. You've got a spirit team. You have your spirit guides that are not really your spirit team. You know, then you do have your ancestors, who hang around and maybe give you gentle prods because don't do that. I already did that. I know where that's going. Stop. Um, so know that you are not alone, even in the moments that you look around yourself and you're kind of frazzled at whatever you've lost or think you've lost or whatever the scenario. Take comfort. Learn that you aren't alone, that these energies, which can never be destroyed, and the only time you may not feel them, well, there's two. One, you're just not aware, and the other is that they've already returned. They're already back here doing it again. So just know you are not alone. And you don't have to believe in any religion whatsoever to call on an angel or to call on your spirit guides. And frankly, yeah, sure, it would help, I guess. It's not going to hurt anybody's feelings, but at least understanding that those energies are there, no matter how you define them. You could call it your imaginary friend. And the likelihood of you as a child seeing them did call them your imaginary friends. And they may have taken on little kid size for you to, not scare you, unless it was something that you needed that large, encompassing, loving form, because there weren't any adults around that were loving, so you needed another adult form, meaning size, etc., that would give you that anchor, that strength, that comfort and peace. There is I learned this from a rabbi, and I really like it, and it has always worked for me. And I will just address it really quickly for you. Because here's the thing: the sooner you get the idea that you are energy, your entire being on a cellular level is energy, but your soul does not walk inside this body. It's squishy. Your soul permeates the body, but it's also outside of the body. It's above the body. It's below the body. There is this energetic field. And your soul and your higher soul, which no way my camera's going to pick it up. But anyway, you get the idea. When you start to become aware, when you start to become enlightened, you stop being attached to emotional things. It's not that you're emotional or caring. Hello, dear. Welcome. It's not that, you're becoming cold and callous, but you've gotten to the point that you realize you are the soul operating this body. You are the soul that thinks the thoughts. You are the soul that feels the feelings. What pisses you off, you have a hair of space to be aware and observe. Oh, they pissed me off. But you know what? They might be having a bad day. Something might be hurting them, which is why they reacted. Now, I could react and be just as bad as them, or I could just smile and know that whatever they're saying doesn't touch me. It doesn't change me. It's not ending my life. Um, I always just kind of bless them and smile. Then they just kind of shake their head and walk away. um, so back to my Jewish rabbi friend. From somewhere in one of the pages, I think it was in the Torah, they started off with calling Archangel Michael and calling him into our energy field. So I do it. I ask for protection, guidance, and direction, and the guiding white light to be in and around myself. I call to Archangel Michael to stand beside me, to take my right hand and be as my right hand, to stand within my energy field. And at that moment, I feel a presence, a subdermal, almost to the bone vibration, not something like somebody going that kind of a vibration, but so subtle you just know something's there. There is a change, a shift. And I continue with how I direct Michael, asking whatever, and I always bless the angels. So I bless him. I place the perfect light in and around Michael, not as if he needs my protection, but I still protect him. So I put my love, my light, my protection around Michael. I give thanks and gratitude for his presence, da 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 da. Then I go to the other side and I call Archangel Gabriel to stand beside me, to take my left hand. I hope I said left hand when I was meaning right over here. Anyway, to take my left hand to be as my left hand and stand within my energy field. And again, now I get that in the bone kind of, I want to call it a tingle without there being a tingle. I can't explain it. There's just a shift, a change in the energy, a change in the vibration, a change in my experience. And I give thanks and gratitude for his protection, for his words of wisdom, etc. And then I seal him in the perfect light. Some people think Gabriel is a she. There is a femininity to it. But anyway, so protect and seal Gabriel. Then I move behind me and I call upon Archangel Raphael to stand behind me, to place his hands upon my shoulders, to gently move me forward, to heal my body, to heal my heart, to step into my energy field, to blend and to help me move on my path, keeping my steps always moving forward. And I give thanks and gratitude, and I seal him in the perfect light, and I protect him, and I bless him. And then I call to Archangel Uriel, Uriel. I call to Uriel to stand before me, because Uriel is the one who shines the light on the path. And so I ask him to be within my energy field, to light the way for me to always know where I'm going, to show me what I need to see along my path, and give gratitude and thanks and protection and blessings. And there you have that. And then the last thing that I would call in is the Shekinah. And the Shekinah, think of the Shekinah as Mother God. She's the mother of the universe. So you have God the Father and Shekinah, Goddess the Mother. It's however you want to work it. For me, I always say Father, Mother, God anyway. And then I go about doing my business, whether I am blessing a house, getting up in the morning, going to sleep at night. I do that all the time. Coming in and sharing space with you, sharing heart. So tonight we're going to basically do that, but a little differently. And I'm going to ask you just to, however you are seated or laying down if you're in bed, but be comfortable. If you're seated, please have your feet flat on the floor. Don't cross your arms, even though, it really is comfortable, but you're cutting off your heart and you don't want to do that. So some way, place your hands comfortably on your lap, on the chair of your arm of your chair of your arm. Yes, that was good. But comfortably on the armrest. Just be comfortable, but you want to have your spine up. You don't want to drop your neck. That's going to cut the air. And you really don't want to tip your neck back either, because that puts pressure on the back. Just up straight, just calm, and breathe. And if you're ready, we're going to set sail. So, first off, if you have any relations in spirit, friends, family, just gently smile and thank them for their presence. Thank them for being there for you and being present here and now. And I call upon the angels, the Ariels, the spirit guides, the spirit teachers, the ascended masters. All my ancestors and all the ancestors present here. I call to aid in this ultraviolet light transmission. That the angels come present and be here, surrounding us with a hedge of protection, holding sacred space in love, in light, in peace, in kindness, with sweetness and goodwill. In any space where evil dwells, let the light of love, of purity, shine brightest, dissolving, transmuting, and removing from our presence all that which does not serve our highest good. And to the east, I speak to the Archangel Raphael, whose home is there, a hymn of the emerald green fire, whose symbol is a crystalline healer, magician, angel. I ask that you join us. Be present with us here and now. Imagine this crystalline caduceus. And if you're unfamiliar with the caduceus, it's the twin snakes curling around the staff with the wings that the medical system uses. Imagine that brilliantly lit with a green glow, almost as if it was made out of emeralds, and that there's a bit of a fire upon it. Anytime you visualize this crystalline caduceus, Raphael will be there. I ask that you imagine the crystalline caduceus to be placed over your heart. Let it seal your heart. Let it protect you. Let it clear away, cleanse, purify all fears, doubts, negative thought forms, belief systems, any and all energies and attachments, whether by your own hand or by someone else. Let them be removed, erased, and taken into that emerald green fire to be transmuted to their highest and most beneficial forms. Imagine the crystalline caduceus now above your head. Take a deep breath in and imagine as you breathe in all that green light, all the power and energy, the love of Raphael fills you, moves through you, that it goes deep into your cellular matrix, that it cleanses away any entities, any thought forms, any belief systems, any fears, self-doubt, self-abuse, cleansing and clearing as it moves down through you, into your throat, down into your chest, down into your belly. Let that energy just literally pour through you, pushing everything out from the marrow of your bones, moving down your legs and out the soles of your feet into the earth, where Mother Earth will take and transmute it into its highest and most beneficial form for the good of all. And thank you, Raphael. And then to the south, I call on Archangel Michael, beloved of the blue ray. Be present with us here and now. And his sword, flaming electric blue, is his symbol. And anytime you think upon this sword of electric blue flame, Michael appears. Michael will be there. The more you work with the angels, the more it is. Just something different that you can't even articulate. It will grow. It will become bigger, more pronounced. But even in the beginning, if you can't feel anything, it doesn't matter. Just know they're there. They never do not answer the call. They will show up. Imagine that he places that sword over your heart, right in the center of your chest, that it sits with Raphael's caduceus, and the two become one, sealing your heart, cleansing, purifying, clearing, eradicating all fear, all negative thought forms, belief systems, negative entities, beings from this dimension or any other dimension, from this lifetime or any other lifetime. If you brought in garbage, garbage time to be taken out. Trust and know that the flame will cut the cords that no longer serve you. These attachments that even well-meaning loved ones and innocent people attach to us, but it drains us, it affects us. Imagine the sword then placed over your back, the center of your back, over your heart, at the rear heart chakra. And this too burns through your soul, through your energy field, finding all the holes, all the spaces that have torn or weakened because of words you've accepted other people saying, because of beliefs you held about yourself. And this sword is removing all of those stickers, those holes, those cords attached to you, freeing you, cutting you clear. Breathe in, breathe out. Know Michael stands with you, even as you take his sword and move it to your left side, to the left shoulder, sealing you in his light, sealing you with this electric blue flame, that it protects you at all times. And bring the sword to the right shoulder. And we have now moved full circle. Anywhere an attachment remains, the swords will cut and cauterize so that it never returns to you. But know, if you think about it and bring it back to you, that's on you. Now place the sword above your head and below your feet, completing the circuit, fully encasing you in this most powerful energy. Feel the love of Michael, returning the sword back to your heart where it stays, sealing, having cleared and cleansed all levels of energy fields, both inner and outer. Feel the electric in your skin. Be aware of the energy just centimeters above you, like your whole body's buzzing. And from the west, I call Gabriel, whose symbol is a silver chalice, glistening with light, surrounded by a diamond white fire. And I call down a waterfall of this diamond white fire. Let it pour from above, down through all the layers of your energy fields, through all your light bodies. Let it pour into your soul, moving into your head. Let this waterfall just envelop you in all this beautiful, brilliant diamond white fire. Feel it move through your head as it goes into your brain, into your cells, into the bloodstream. This waterfall purifying, cleansing, clearing out the debris, purifying your heart, your soul, washing away all the doubt, all the fear, that which you haven't yet been able to release. Repeatedly doing this will wash away, little by little, more and more of the what ifs, those old wounds, those childhood hurts. You are one with source energy. You are one with the universe. You are one with us all. We are one. We are one heart. We are one soul. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel this waterfall pour down through your throat into your shoulders. Let it move down your arms, down your chest, and into your heart. Let it fill your heart with this diamond white fire. Let it move through every portion of your body, the marrow of your bones, the cells, the organs, deep, deep down into the tissues. Let it move beyond time and space to where you once were and where you are now. Let this diamond white fire pass down through your ancestral ties to cleanse, clear, to remove all vows, all connections to energies that no longer serve you, that do not serve your highest good, the highest good of your soul, or the highest good of the planet. Now we call to the north, Archangel Uriel. Let them be present with us here and now. Uriel's symbol is the 5-pointed gold star encased with a ruby red fire. Focus on this symbol. See it before you, before your mind's eye, and Uriel comes to you. Uriel is the light that shines upon the path to show you the way. So know that you are never, ever in darkness. With Uriel, it just isn't so. Place this 5-pointed gold star on your brow. Let it open up your inner eye to see clearly. Let the ruby red fire burn away the fears. Let it burn away the doubts, the uncertainties. Let it remove all ties, past, present, future, from this dimension or any other dimension. That which does not serve your highest good or the highest good of the planet, see it removed, eradicated, erased, dissolved, and disintegrated. Let it be transmuted into its highest, most purest form that serves the good of all. Four angels surround you now. They watch over you. They protect you. They work to cleanse you, to dissolve those beings, those thought forms, entities from this dimension or any other dimension, from this plane or any other dimension, other plane. That which you have created or that what somebody else has created. They dissolve. They shrink away from the light. And in love, they're lifted up into the light and transmuted to shine bright as a star, to be their highest and most perfect expression. Above you, Metatron, he who resides in the above space, who holds the Christ grid, a white and gold fiery grid that burns away all negative attachments. Think of it like a net pulled taut that glows gold threads with this white fire. And Metatron pulls it down into the room you're sitting, slowly, lovingly, gently. And as it descends, it cleanses the room you're in, cleanses the walls, the ceiling, moves closer, works through your energy fields, through your highest chakras, through your etheric bodies, your mental bodies, your emotional bodies, your astral bodies. It moves down, down. It comes to your head, and it moves through you gently, lovingly, just kind of floating on down through every part of you. The Christ grid cleanses you. It helps your DNA, your RNA to return to its most beneficial expression. This Christ grid that Metatron holds is brought through the central sun. It comes to the earth through the stargate of our sun. As it moves closer and closer down to the earth, moving through our body, combing us, detangling the energies within us and around us. Any places where there are gaps, there are holes, where there are attachments, there are cords, hooks, regardless of where they go or to whom created them. They are dissolved as the grid moves and touches the earth. Metatron's symbol is the gold infinity sign. And this too, you can visualize, and he will be with you. Anchor both the infinity sign and the Christ grid to your heart. Know that it is part and parcel of your being. It is your birthright. And at our feet, which the energy pathways are now open, Sandalphon. He comes to us with a golden white fire that aligns the crystalline earth grid. And so from the earth, this grid rises up, entering through our feet, moving up our legs and up into our body. As these pathways that are now opened receive this energy, Sandalphon anchors the crystalline earth grid within us. His symbol is the rose. It's a pale violet pink rose. And you can place that within your heart. Breathe. Be present. Listen. Be aware. Make note of how you feel. Make note of the air that surrounds you. Be aware. Is it thick? Is it light? Does it feel electric? Do your hands tingle? Do your feet tingle? What about the top of your head? I want you to take your left hand and touch your heart. Take your right hand and touch the crown of your head. That touch brings your awareness to both spaces. I want you to slowly, gently breathe in and hold the breath. Be aware of your heart and your crown. And exhale. Don't breathe in just yet. Just be aware. Breathe in. And at the top of the breath, hold it again. Be aware of your heart and your crown. Exhale. Hold it. Be aware of that silence. That space. And breathe in. Do this a couple more times. Be aware at the top and be aware at the bottom of the breath. And as you breathe, I call in another set of angels to be the protectors whose ultraviolet angelic light burns brightest and most intense. This light clears away any remaining residual forms, fears, thoughts, belief systems, entities, carnate, discarnate, of our own creation or those of others, from this lifetime and any other lifetime, from this dimension or any other dimension. Time and space mean nothing to them. Ask these angels to place a sphere of ultraviolet light around you, around your body, your light body, around all the layers of you to infinity. As the fire intensifies, that ultraviolet fire, it seals up any gaps, any holes, any cracks in your armor. It protects you. It removes any blocks with light and with fire. Any openings found, it will seal. I ask these loving beings to please clear away all energies, all lower energies that do not serve the highest good of those present. That only light and love and its highest, most beneficial frequency run continuously in a loop. Clearing our space, clearing our home, as far as our thoughts take us. Let this light be placed in and around our loved ones. And those in spirit, our ancestors, may they all be sealed in the perfect light. That their wounds, that their entities, that their negative thought forms, belief systems, their patterns that we carry, that they be removed from them. That the traumas and dramas of our ancestors, of our ancestral lines, end here and now. I ask this in pure faith, in love, so be it. So be it, and so it is. Take a moment, breathe, listen to the breath, move your feet, move your fingers, wiggle your toes, become fully into your body, become aware. I give thanks to the angels and their presence, to their love, to their protection, to their guidance, to their healing, to their care. I give thanks to our ancestors, to our spirit teams, guides and guardian angels, our holy ascended masters. Thank you. Thank you for being here with me. Hello, beautiful Mimi. I love you. I hope everyone did well with that. Now I gotta find where I hid my water. Oh, I found my water. You're so very welcome, Annette. It's so good to have you here. You never know what Tuesday night will be. It may be a meditation. It may be a guest speaker. That's why it's just coffee, tea, and soul. Bring your drink of choice and kick back. You got questions? Ask. If there's anything you want, oh, good, Sling. If there's anything, Annette, that you ever want to know, that you want to investigate further, learn about, That's okay. Now you are, right? We can excuse me. We can have fun. Thank you. Thank you so much. We can have fun going over, well, honestly, 58 years of study. Sling, just be with it. Your energies were raised. Okay, so let's think of, what do I have? Okay, I'm going to use this. We're going to pretend. Everybody put on your imagination caps. This is a crystal vase. No, really, it is. A crystal goblet. There we go. Um, so you can hear that it rings, right? It has a frequency. I can hit with the same frequency that this contains. That's why a crystal goblet, when an operatic singer hits that note and sustains it, you need both hands. You have the vibration from the crystal goblet and you have the vibration from the singer. Well, where they hit, they become pronounced right there in that center. And so it's kind of clashing. And that's what causes the shatter of the glass, is because that frequency, which meant that the opera singer had to bring her voice up and hit that note. And it had to be the same note as the goblet. And then we get crash, and the glass shatters. Your frequency has been lifted, and you've been vibrating a little bit higher. So that odd feeling is the fact that your energetic fields are vibrating at a higher frequency. You know, the whole spiritual shtick is about raising your frequency. They can measure, like, hate. Hate is very low, and love is up here. And then you have joy that's up higher than love, actually. And I'm gonna have to look it up because I don't remember the name. I see it and I can't remember the guy's name. But he designed this, not a grid, but a ladder of various frequencies that different emotions resided at. Um, it's going to bug me. I can't think of the name of it. But a lot of people that do frequency work, like whether they're using the singing bowls, the crystal bowls, the Tibetan bowls, I love the tuning forks. Tuning forks will put me in another zone. But that raising of the frequency, it's like knocking the barnacles off. If you've got a brush doing this, oh, I guess it got dust. Doing this, the dust particles come up. There's a vibration from those bristles, and so that's kind of what goes on with us, is we're knocking off the barnacles. Our vibration gets a little higher, and all of the stuff that's low that doesn't serve us kind of breaks off. You have people who do faith healing, pranic healing. Reiki is another energy form. There's quantum touch, healing touch. There's just so many different types of energetic healing. Rehutek, which is an Egyptian one. I have missed you, young lady. I have missed you so much. But anyway, that thought just vacated the premises. I do love you, Annie. I've missed you. vibration. So we're vibration, we're knocking off, we're raising. And when you're elevated, lower frequency stuff just falls away. It can't. It just can't do it. It can't hold that note. It's like, falls flat. Um, and the higher vibration you are, the less these lower frequency, lower vibration things can attach to you. I do pranic healing, but okay, thank you, Annie. Um, but I guess as a child, I have no memory. But my mentor told me that I was 4, and I would lay my hands on people that were in pain and take away their pain. So as a child, not knowing anything of faith, I was still healing. Yeah, kind of like to know what was going through my mind. But from what she had related to me, I was a very odd little child. I was an adult as a child. So now that I'm going to be 63, I get to be a kid. So I'm always 6 years old, since I never got to be one when I was 6. Um, the key thing in the faith healing really is understanding who you are. You cannot heal somebody. You can't even love somebody if you don't love you. I'm not touching that, Annie, not with a 10-foot pole. You can't make me. Um, anyway, oh, you can come to me anytime, Annette. I love sharing knowledge. This has been literally my life's path, is that I spend every day, as long as I'm home, and even in between getting up in the morning and then doing what I have to do, and then coming home and before going to bed, studying. I look at other people's points of view. I listen to others. I learn new things. Um, I also learn about myself, because I have done this for so long, and I have to remember, just like when angels come in, they're going to show you whatever face is most comfortable to you, or whatever persona type of thing. Um, I think you were here in the beginning when I said that one gentleman that was teaching that Zero to Psychic class said that Michael was a no no messing around, business only, come in, do the job, go out. Doesn't say hi, bye, or nothing. But that was never my experience. I know that that's contrary to other people's experience as well. Um, there's also no taboos when you speak of angels. Like some people say, "Oh, I can't talk about that because they did this or they did that." There's no pinky swears. You know, um, it's personal. But if you want to talk about it, talk about it. If it makes you feel good that hey, I could call Michael and get a hug when I am so down. I know that Michael is there when I call him in to protect my happy butt. I mean, there are no taboos about, oh, you don't talk about the angels. Nope. Nope. Um, I do find a lot of the quote unquote taboos kind of silly, but that was me. I'm glad you can understand. Um, I try to put it all in, just common everyday lingo. Uh, I do have a tendency to use larger than life words, and I've learned to speak like normal people. I don't know how to put it, you know, because it's just it's a language thing, and sometimes if you can put it in the most simplest terms, then it's like, aha, I get it. And then everything blossoms from there, and more things start happening. And the more you work with the angels, it's funny. The more stuff happens. Things to look for. Check this out. When you are experiencing moments of maybe listlessness, or even just kind of feeling a little lost, or you're just needing that extra little I gotcha kid kind of nudge. If you happen to look down and there's a feather in your path, wives' tale or not, it's comforting to I was always taught that meant the angels were there. Didn't and I've found feathers in weird places where there was no birds around, and I just took it as okay. I pick up the feather and I keep it. Try to keep it safe. Sometimes they disappear. Kind of like an apport, they will vanish when they're no longer needed, I think. And an apport, for those that may not know, is a item, an object, usually a coin or something coin-like, that appears in the weirdest places. Like, I have a few people who have coins that keep appearing in their shower. Not your standard coins. They were Roman coins. Annie, I'm going to get you. These are not attached to birds, honey. But so, the apport is given by spirit. It's a message. It's a sign. It's a signal. It's, hey, we're here. It's just like having your keys disappear, and darn well they were sitting right there the last time I looked, and now they're nowhere to be found until you yell and curse and tell them to give them back in no uncertain terms. And then all of a sudden, they're there again, and you just look there 5 times. They weren't there all 5 times, but now they are. Well, it's a bird. They are bird feathers, but there's no bird attached to it. So finding a feather on a bird doesn't count. Unless I'm misunderstanding what you're talking about. Yes, Annie. My husband, back when we first got together, so 30 years ago, he was getting ready for work and he was looking for his watch. And this was like something from the Three Stooges. I crawl over the bed. I open up this thing. I look in there. I crawl off the bed this way. He crawls over the bed. He lifts up. We're moving. We're moving blankets. We're moving covers. We're doing everything. We're going through the drawers. We're looking on the, yes, Annie, a white feather, a black feather, a gray feather. It doesn't matter the color of the feather, but yes, just like that. But anyway, so we spent, a good 5-10 minutes, and I had kept opening this glass jewelry box that my mother had made him for Christmas one year, or for his birthday or something. I don't remember. And I opened it. He opened it 3 times. And then I just stuff, and I cussed them out and told them to blah, 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 blah. Give me back the blah, 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 blah watch. He's late for work. And I just kind of sat there don't have any clue. Don't remember an inkling, but I just turned around and opened up the glass case, and there it was. And we both looked and looked and looked, and it was not there. So that was apported in and apported out and apported in. APPORT. Apport. My horse trainer was killed in 1979, and it tore me up. It broke my heart. He was the only man I considered my father. He was a foster parent, and I used to have these about nickel size brass coins, we'll call it, that had a little jump ring on it, and so it hung on the side of my horse's bridle, and then also on the back of my saddle. And I had a few of them, but then life happened, and never saw him again. I hadn't seen him since probably I was before he died. I hadn't seen them, so they were completely not within the scope of awareness. For that was 1990, and I got into my then boyfriend's Chevy Blazer, and it had a little kind of maybe that big around cup like thing, and that was where we had all the change sitting there at the center console. And I was starting up the car and waiting for it to warm up, and I looked into the little change and rifled around, and there I found one of those brass name tags from my bridle, which was like an absolute impossibility. No way, shape, or form. I mean, no way. And that just told me that my trainer, my dad, my whatever you want to call him, he was just letting me know he was there. And that was cool. My mentor taught me, when you dream of people who have died, that it's not a dream. We never dream of them. That it's a visitation. Same thing with Christ. If you have a dream of Christ or you have a dream of Mary, a visitation. That is not you dreaming. Dude, must you? Thank you. But anyway, after he died, I dreamt of him out in front of the barn, and I was running down the aisle of the barn to him, and I just threw my arms around him and hugged him and told him I missed him, and he said that he was okay. And that was it. Never had another dream of him. Let's see. Well, let's see. It had to have been around 87, I'm going to say. 86, maybe. Somewhere in there. My daughter was born in 85, so it might have even been in 85. I don't know, but somewhere in that time, my boyfriend had a dream and described my horse trainer to a T, and that he told him pretty much that if he hurt me, my horse trainer was going to get him. But he let him know under no certain circumstances he didn't like this guy. And I didn't say anything when he told me about the dream and described the guy and pretty much said that he knew it was my dad. Then a boyfriend I had after that, the one that had the car that I found my apport in, he had a dream about Steve, about my horse trainer. Cowboy hat, the whole 9 yards, and said pretty much the same thing, that he didn't like him. And it was funny. But my husband, that I've been married to for 30 years now, he had a dream. Yeah, cool. Awesome, Annette. I've got older too. My oldest daughter was born in 1977. My youngest was born in 1985. But anyway, check this out. So my now hubby, I took him to the ranch that I lived at. We drove up there and we drove around the property, and then and he was like, I dreamt of this place. And he knew where the office was. He dreamt that he walked into this door and there was Steve, kicked back in his chair with his feet, boots up on the desk and his ankles crossed. And all he said was, we've been waiting for you. She's in there. And that was it. And so my husband is the only person that my dad liked. 2 other men dreamt about him, never having seen him or met him, but he came to them and told them, don't screw up. So yeah, I think that's just cool. Nice to know that somebody has my back. Interesting stuff. And so that's why too I have kind of a different take on spirit than a lot of people. And the way I try to educate folks is we all have an understanding. It's like we all have an understanding of the English language. But depending on if you're from California or from South Dakota or from Florida or Georgia or whatever, the Cajuns in Louisiana, each has a different accent, a different understanding of word meaning, and I guess education levels also varying on, what's available, etc. I don't know. But anyway, same thing goes with understanding of spirit. You only are ever given as much information as you can take. And so you hear a lot of people who are teaching stuff, but they may be actually talking in like they're talking to elementary school, 6th graders, whatever. And then you might find somebody else who has a little bit more information, a little bit more understanding, and they're teaching at junior high or high school level because they just have a little bit more of the picture. They have a little bit more understanding. And then you get people that, talk even higher. And so the amount of info or the what do you call it? The level of information. So kids in elementary school know how to subtract and add before they ever learn about multiplication and division. And so that mindset only knows addition and subtraction. And if you try to tell them, oh, but there's multiplication too, and they're going to look at you like, no, there's not. And then they learn about multiplication, and then you get, oh, but there's decimals and there's fractions, and can't forget geometry. And it's like, no, there's not. And then they learn that. And then you get into, oh my God, there's calculus and trigonometry. Oh no, there's not. Not for me, I refuse. But you get it, right? It's like, it's not that they're wrong, but they're limited on what they know, their understanding, and their experience. And as they get more experience, so it's like you can't ever say, nope, 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 unless you know that it's an absolute nope. But it's like Be open to there's something more to it than you really understand. I study a lot, but that doesn't mean I know it all either. I just don't stop. Now, let me ask you something, Annette. How do you know you don't have visitations? If you're sleeping and in your dream somebody that has passed or somebody profound shows up who's in spirit, that's a visitation. They're utilizing your vehicle of a dream. What do you have in you, Sling? I really um dislike AT&T. I really do. They text me now because they're supposed to come and fix my internet tomorrow. Which, hey, we didn't lose it, I don't think. So, no, Sling is not possessed. Except for maybe a sweet tooth. We can work on that, Sling, and because if there was any type of a possession, you wouldn't have been doing anything tonight. You wouldn't be able to talk about the angels, let alone work with them. Oh boy. Maybe what we'll do is, I think that there is a way to do. Well, I mean, Sling, we could just go into Zoom one time and I'll work with you, and we'll see what we got going. But the study of angels, Annette, is called angelology. Just like demonology, angelology. It's something for your tongue to get twisted around. But there are tons and tons of all kinds of information. There's no evil coming. That kind of a thought is what would bring something. Patty, I don't know who Patty is, Colleen. And you got to understand, there is never, ever, ever anything inside you. It can't be inside you. In your energetic field, yes, but not inside you. Sling, we're going to work on it. I'll teach you some things that will help you. That way you can identify it. And you're very welcome, Annette. I thank you so very much. Um, do you want to go over to Zoom right now, Sling, or do you want to go? They can be in your energetic field. They cannot be inside you. Hey, Miller, how are you, sweet soul? I mean, in actuality, your own soul really isn't inside you either. But it's part of this mask, this shell, cocoon, whatever you want to call it, around us. All right. I'll see you next Tuesday, honey. I'm doing really good, Miller. Thank you for asking. We had a really cool meditation, at least I thought so. I was feeling all the like subsonic tingles in my bones, and that was just cool. I love when I can feel them, feel their presence. That thing that matter of fact, Sling, that I told you, it's call Michael in to be as your right hand, to take your right hand and be inside your energetic field. Call in Gabriel to the left, Raphael behind, and Uriel in front. Ain't nothing going to get you. For me, the second, the instant I call them in, it's like there's something literally up against my arm. And two, if you cross your arms over your heart and your solar plexus, that brings your energy field in. And so things can't jump and attach to you. And if I'm reading that right, Spitfire, no angel will enter you ever. Stepping into your energetic field is a different story, because your energetic field can be 20 feet wide. And you can make it down to be like a condom right up against you. That's usually when you do this, it pulls in, it automatically goes and sucks up against you. So opening it up and being open to all that stuff. What do you think you're doing? Don't you dare, Lilliputian butt. Come here. So he lays down on her. So what's new with you, Miller? What kind of stuff you got going on? Are you staying out of trouble, or are you looking to get into more trouble? I wish you guys were closer to Texas. You know, even like Louisiana, I would love to go on a couple hunts with some of, I know you're not doing that, but, you know, some of the other ghost hunters, if you will. Oh, that's what that is. But now you got me worried. No sneezing, no sneezing. I not sure what's going to come up for next Tuesday, Coffee, Tea, and Soul. I realized I put the wrong image up, which kind of upsets me, but it's okay. All good. We were dealing with more spiritual stuff anyway than just simple chatter. Well, you're just doing gaming, right? Do you ever do walkthroughs, or do you do uh, reviews on games, or do you just play the games? I I can't watch most people's gaming channels because it's that three-dimensional kind of thing, and it gives me headaches, and I will be sick for 2 days. I get extreme nausea, and it messes with my brain something fierce. So I can't even watch OG when he's doing his stuff. I think the longest I made was 2 minutes before I had to run because it just gave me a headache. Heck, even Uncle Paul's wrestling will do that. I have to be careful. I have a dysfunction in the junction. And I was all set for tomorrow night. I'm kind of bummed, but maybe tomorrow night I will um, come on here and find somebody to come in, and I will paint their aura or something. We'll see what comes up. We'll see if somebody wants to be channeled or we got something to look at. All that kind of fun stuff. Have you been to that one guy's? I think I did see you there. It was from OG, I think. When you provide information, people like it, especially um, points of view on games. Don't spend your money on this. Oh, sure, go ahead and buy that. Steam is doing this lately, and so you may want to think of one of these other, I don't know what they call them, outlets, whatever Steam is, portals for games. I did find a game that kind of piques my interest that somebody did, like what Uncle Paul did with that. I don't know what it was, where it was kind of like a mixture of the Big Bad Wolf and Snow White kind of thing. I don't remember what that was called, but this one was called The Medium. And I watched somebody play it. It's a little on the slow side, but I liked it. And it's supposed to be a horror, I guess, horror genre game. But it was called The Medium. It looks really interesting, but I don't want to pay $59 for it. That's just too much. I'm a penny pincher until I find something. Well, that's good. I mean, that makes it interesting. I'm trying to think, other than just going out there and talking with people and maybe bringing up, seeing if you can find, oh, heck, Stardew Valley. I'm sure Concerned Ape. Oh, thank you, Miller. Concerned Ape, who did Stardew Valley, you could always bring somebody up like him because he likes to talk to the people and do an interview. just do a 30-minute or whatever, and ask him questions about Stardew Valley. And because I know it started for him as just some project in his computer programming class or something like that. Hello there, sweet Tina. How are you? Blessings and welcome, sweet dear. But yeah, Miller, that would be something to look at. I bet you can even find some of the bigger like Twitch personalities. There's I can't remember these guys. Nubs, no. Began with an N. It was a silly name. I've got them on my Discord. But they're a huge gaming group. There's like 5 of them that played Conan the Conan game, and then they actually got put into the Conan game by Neebs, Neebs. That was it, Neebs. They're funny. You could look up Neebs on YouTube and find their videos. They are phenomenal funny. I am doing beautifully, Tina. Thank you so very much. I'm glad that you've stopped in. I'm sorry that you missed our meditation. Now we're just on the yammer side of things, because I have mouth. I talk. I do not have willpower. I say that as my husband has a peanut butter fudge piece out there, and I'm ignoring it. I have my water. You're welcome, dear. Hey, I'm small potatoes. I love what I do. I am not actively seeking to be monetized. I do have my donation thing usually on the channel, and that's it. But I'm just here to help people. This is my goal is to help people ground, help people find their heart. If there are issues, help them to find a tool to combat it, to win over it. I mean, I probably shoot myself in the foot because I don't actively pursue an audience exactly. But I'd rather people be here because they want to be here, not because I'm pounding the pavement and, hey, come see me. Um, I'm here to help people. I'm here to heal. And I am the crone. I am the old woman, so I have an opinion because I've been at this helping people for a long, long, long time. My poor youngest daughter, I watched her be me, and it was like, oh, you poor thing. We put our foot in our mouths because we try to protect other people. That's good, Miller. That's good. Listen to spirit. But 2, if you decide that you want a little help, ask. It doesn't mean that it's going to make you Ricky race to the next opportunity, but the opportunity may present itself, and when you're ready, it'll go, aha, I'm there. Children, enough. Mutt and Jeff. I appreciate that, Miller, so very much. I really do. You know, that alone, excuse me, that alone makes this whole thing worthwhile. If I can give you one little trick, one little pearl to help with something, a project, a time when you're low, whatever, if I can help, I'm happy to do it. I know that that's what I'm here for. I am doing exactly what the universe told me to do, what spirit told me to do. One of these days, I will be brave and I will share my experience washing Jesus's feet. That will be an interesting talk. I don't know if you were here when I was saying earlier that when you have dreams of loved ones, they're not dreams, those are visitations. That's when they take the opportunity to come and talk to you, to tell you they're okay, or to give you that extra little bit of comfort to help you through a problem. And the same thing goes when you have dreams. You know, you're sleeping and you have a dream, and you have Yeshua or Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, whoever showing up. That's a visit. That's not your imagination creating this long, elaborate story. It's being talked to. It's very good to follow passion, but you also have to know when sometimes that passion maybe is misplaced, because maybe you're passionate about that chocolate fudge brown fudge out there. If I eat it, if I follow my passion, I'm going to be sick to my stomach. So I'm behaving. But yeah, you know, it's important to know you. And I tell everybody, your first step is to look yourself in the mirror, to look in your own eyes and be able to say unequivocally, without a shadow of a doubt, with as much feeling as you can fake in the beginning, because I'll guarantee 99.999% of everybody cannot honestly say, I love you, and then their name. So like for me, it would be, I love you, Michelle. It's easy to just look at yourself and say, I love you. And then that's it. There's not that connection. The name is the key. The name is the connection. And if it's a nickname that you've been called since you were little and that's the one you identify with, or if it's your birth name, whatever, I work through, because this is an exercise I give my clients, is looking in a mirror and saying repetitively, I love you, insert name. And so I know all the tricks on how not to do it. I know intimately all the feelings of escape, run now, run fast, oh, get the hell away. So, you know, there isn't anything that somebody can tell me, you know, why they can't do it, other than the fact that they just choose not to, because they're afraid of breaking free, of breaking that collar that holds them back. because it's easier to blame. Oh, I'm this way because I'm not good enough, because it's what they always told me. Nobody ever hugged me. Nobody ever said I love you. Whatever. You can come up with all the different reasons. Point is that in doing the exercise, you make your heart and soul connection. It connects this channel, and everything in your life changes. More beneficial things start to show up because you are now open to receive. You are genuinely loving yourself, thereby following your passion. And from that, you can also recognize, see, and feel genuine love with other people. We all, without the benefit of having any real honest love to feel, and to know that it's okay to love ourselves. It doesn't mean I love me, because it's not conceited, it's not selfish love. It is talking from my heart to my soul, and from my soul back to my heart. And that connection is so empowering. And I watched it make changes when I had my breakthrough, and I did this for weeks. It made changes in my life. The first one was being married to a musician, professional musician, who left the house in the morning, went out to the music studio, and I never saw him again unless I went to the music studio, or he coming to bed anywhere from 10 to 4 in the morning. That was it. And for him to show up in the middle of the day, daylight, vampire, oh no, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I think it was, and just sit there with this silly, just out of place smile on his face, staring at me while I'm head down working on jewelry, to say, okay, honey, I love you, Miller. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. I won't stop. I will be the pain in the arse for everybody. Bless you, Miller. But anyway, back to the story, and I will end it here, is um, he stood there, and I looked up very impatient, and just, what? Because he's just sitting there staring. And he just smiled and said, nothing. I just came in to say I love you. That man hadn't done that in years. But when I finished that tear-jerking, snotty, I don't know how many, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, I don't know how long it lasted, assault on my senses of telling me I love me, to the point that everything broke free, that was it. But I didn't recognize it that day. Me who tries to be misaware of everything, I didn't recognize it. I recognized it 2 weeks later, when other stuff started happening. I hadn't been with him to one of his gigs for a couple of years, because going to the gigs was never fun for me, because he would play and perform and I'd be sitting there by myself. So I'd be working on my jewelry. When he got off stage, he'd go and he'd schmooze with everybody. And after he was done schmoozing, he may come by, have a smoke, or pick up something off the table and go back on stage. But that was the extent of everything, until 2 weeks after that event. And I'm standing next to him, and everybody always bows down, what a wonderful musician, and da-da-da-da-da, and everything under the sun. And I'm invisible. But that time I wasn't. That time, all of a sudden, people are like, You must be Edison's wife. He talks about you all the time. And it's kind of like, I looked up in him, I said, he does, because that was a shock to me. But that's when I realized I broke all of the facade, all of the mirrors off of me, and made that heart soul connection, and that light was shining out. Everybody else was seeing it. And I had people, even him, he showed up and sat at the table with me in between sets. Never done that. Not since we first got together. So yeah, it's a simple exercise. Just hold your own gaze, looking, they talk about the eyes being the windows to the soul, and you have to say it like you genuinely, truly mean it. Even if you don't feel it, you have to pretend you do and keep repeating it. Don't say it twice and walk away, or 3 times. Don't wait 6 months after the first time you try it, but be diligent. Just like buying a membership to the gym, you're going to keep going. Even I don't feel like working out today. I just don't want to do it. But you go and you drag your butt to there, and you go and work out, and then you feel great after you're all done. It's like, yeah, I pumped iron. So yeah, it's like the only way to change your life, to change everything, even the people in your life that are not not doing you any good, not living up to their potential, not whatever. We always end up with something that we just wish somebody would change, stop being, in a bad mood, stop this, stop that, or being in a really bad situation and we just don't think we have a way out. Doing this, well, actually what I was going to say was that in order to change your outside circumstances, you have to change inside. And you focus on you. You don't focus on the people you're trying to change. You focus on you and you change you. They will change accordingly. And it may mean that they just leave your life because you're too good for them now. It might have been that you weren't good enough. Just as an example, not saying anybody is or isn't, because we're the only ones that can really, we shouldn't, but I mean, that's really like, it's our doing. We believe them telling us that we're not good enough. But anyway, on that note, I want to thank everybody for being here. I just want to say thank you and bless you. Really. You make my heart just float. You're beautiful souls. Don't ever forget that. You really are beautiful souls. And there isn't anything that we can't solve. The solution may not be comfortable at certain moments, but sometimes you literally gotta wade through the mud to get out of the mud, to get to that place to climb out. And you may lose a shoe or boot along the way, get stuck in the mud, but you still end up getting out of there. So have faith. Know that you are a divine child of God, divine child of the Spirit, divine child of the universe, divine child of the great Creator. Whatever you want to ascribe to, you are a beautiful, beautiful soul. And I want to thank you. Mitaku Ayuashin. Namaste, everybody. Have a blessed night. And I will see you next Tuesday, 7:30. Same bat time, same bat channel. Does that make me an old bat? Food for thought. Love you. Night. Night.